What's up, y'all, and welcome back to Demon's Chat. I am Marcus, also known as EpicNamebro, and let's have story time, because this is one of the most interesting parts of the story, definitely, the whole dichotomy between the Old One and Alant, and the Monumental and the Maiden in Black, and this whole situation. So let's just hear what the Monumental has to say about everything.
We have long awaited you, Slayer of Demons. I am one of the Monumentals. We preserve the fabric of reality. There is something thou needest to know. Once, we too, a scourge of demons faced. In the distant past, under a benevolent rule, the world was united owing to the soul arts. Until a lust for power caused the awakening of the Old One. Across the land seeped a colorless, deep fog, and the world faced extinction at the hands of the demons. Thanks be, we were able to lull the Old One back to his slumber, yet only after the loss of innumerable souls, and half the world lost, erased by the fog. In order to mend the fabric of what land still remained, we entrusted 6 elders with 6 precious archstones. 1 to the king of a small yet diligent land. 1 to the king of the burrowers underground. 1 to the wise queen of the great ivory tower. 1 to the chieftain of lost and ill-fortuned souls. 1 to the shaman of the tempest-worshipping shadowmen. And the last to the great giants of the northern lands. The archstones were placed at nodes across the earth. We contained the Old One inside this nexus and banned the soul arts. Finally, we became monumentals, half-living sentinels of the fabric of reality. Alas, the other monumentals have perished, and only I remain. Now it is your turn. You must lull the Old One back to its slumber and seal it away for all eternity. If not, the deep fog will absorb all that we know. Have you the strength to accept this mission? Yes, we are fortunate indeed to have you. Now, go forth and destroy every last demon. The Old One, without demons to feed its souls, will a new servant seek and lure you to its bosom. We neutralized the Old One and banned the soul arts. Then we spread the archstones, and in order to mend reality, monumentals we became. However, man's memory of history is o'ershort, and before long he repeated his mistakes. The monumentals perished, and the archstones were long forgotten. And the short-sighted King Alant once again aroused the Old One. The monumentals perished, and the archstones were long forgotten. And the short-sighted King Alant once again aroused the Old One.
Very interesting to me. These are the Monumentals, the half-living sentinels of the fabric of reality. How could they perish? How could they possibly die? Is a very interesting idea. And why is only he alive? You'll see the burnt out candles around the Nexus, and only this flame continues to burn. Very interesting that the Maiden in Black is the original Firekeeper. Like in Dark Souls, Firekeepers are everywhere, etc, 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 but the Maiden in Black, she says she keeps the candles lit, and all of these other candles have gone out except for this one. Now, is that by her own will, or is that why she has wax covering her eyes? Was someone trying to stop her from doing her duty? She certainly can't be killed. If you kill her while she's in the Nexus, she just is reborn. She also has a Nexial binding on her legs. So another thing, I'll splice in some video here as well that shows what happens when you say no to the Monumental's question of whether or not you will face the old one. And also what happens when you attack him. It's really creepy. He really, it seems like he's twisting your leg. Let's just watch that footage first and then we'll talk about it.
Your turn. You must lull the old one back to its slumber and seal it away for all eternity. If not, the deep fog will absorb all that we know. Have you the strength to accept this mission? Yes, I see. That is unfortunate. You should know that you will be imprisoned in the Nexus forever. Just like the poor Candle Maiden. You must destroy all the demons if you wish to be freed from the curse of the Nexus. The old one, without the demons to feed its souls, will seek a new servant and lure you to its bosom. You must lull the old one back to slumber, for your own sake as well as for ours. Cease. You are wasting your life force. I am a monumental. You cannot harm me.
Alright, so that's what happens when you tell him no, or when you try to attack him, things like that. Whether or not you believe in the Monumental and the Maiden in Black and what they're trying to do to lull the old one back to its slumber, or whether you think that they've tricked you, deceived you, they're the ones who led you to your death. Because the Monumental was the one who, whose voice rang out through the deep fog when you were passing through the fissure into Boletaria, and he said he would lead you, and he led you directly into what would be considered a massive ambush by me. It was a big ass ambush, fucking falcon punch from a dragon. God, no less. Let's see if I can fall down over here. I need to suicide in the Nexus to control my world tendency anyway, but maybe I can... Oh yeah. There we go. Right here. Go ahead and get this. People always want me to get this every playthrough and I almost never do. Newman Grass, and there's another one on the other side if I remember right. Maybe a soul or a ephemeral eye, I can't remember. I think it's soul over there. But one interesting thing about coming up here, it gives you a very different angle on things, a different perspective on the Nexus, which is always cool because this place is awesome. Like the things such as the archstones being tilted forward, that's something I never noticed till I came over here. The fact that the wings wrap around the sides of it, the designs on the back, lots of little interesting details. The Nexus, when you first enter it, it appears to be such a barren place, but there's actually a lot going on here. Alright, now for the obligatory world tendency explanation. In Demon Souls, there are special events in most of the levels. There will be one set of special events when you're at pure white tendency, and one sort of special events when you're at pure black tendency. You can check your tendency by going here to world tendency. You start out roughly neutral. You can see that we're a little bit above neutral in Boletarian Palace. The way you move closer to white, in general, is by killing bosses, and the way that you move closer to dark is by dying in body form. Now, multiplayer can affect this a lot, but you can't really fully control your world tendencies if you're online, because your world tendencies will be affected by the server average, which tends to be closer to white. So if you want to control your world tendency, play offline. And the most important things to note: you never want to die in human form in a world unless you're trying to take it towards black, and you kill bosses to take it to white. What I like to do is take it towards white first, and then when you complete the white tendency event, it's going to reset you down towards neutral, and then a few deaths later you can be at black tendency. It's very simple to do things that way, and that's what we're going to do this playthrough. That's pretty much what I do every playthrough. Yeah. So we need a suicide first, so that we don't have any risk of dying in body form while we're in a level. The Nexus traps you. All the way back up there to get my souls. Sean Bowers or Sean Bowers? Sean Bowers asked, does Demon Souls have any direct relationship to Dark Souls or Dark Souls 2? No. That's one of the most common, I guess, questions in the entire Souls series, and my answer is pretty much always the same. From Software says no, and honestly I think no. It's just a reinterpretation of similar themes. Dark Souls and Demon Souls, yeah, they reuse a lot of the same themes to the point where you might think that they're connected, but essentially no, they're not connected. But also, Sean was repping Landgrisser, so I always love to see that. That was cool. Let's see, I thought I talked to you before.
Are you back?
I sure did. I don't have enough capacity.
I see. Just in short.
Yeah, alright, we'll work on that, buddy. But first, we're gonna have to hook up with the Maiden in Black here. Soul items. One of the best ways to make sure that you don't accidentally use a boss soul is to equip your soul items for quick use like this, because it won't let you equip boss souls. It may shoot up pretty quick here. Alright.
Brave Prithee, lull the old one back to its ancient slumber.
If you die, remember the Ice Stone. They're trying to tell you, co-op. Co-op, man. Big part of the game design. The Maiden controls inhuman souls. This power allows her to aid those who slay demons.
What is it? Dost thou seek soul power?
Yeah, I want soul power.
So be it. After all, thou requirest strength. Go forth, touch the demon inside me. Let these ownerless souls become thine own. Soul of the
Alright,
mind, keep
so
thy
first thing, I'm gonna go ahead and get some int so that I have 2 spell memory for now. We'll end up with more later. And then I'm gonna pump some magic power.
So the world might be
Boop, 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 boop. Alright.
As for me, I am only here to tend to the flames. I keep the candles lit and serve the brave demon slayers who are trapped here. I keep the Art thou done? May thine strength help the world be mended.
She serves the demon slayers who are trapped here, but she is also trapped here, and I'm sorry about this maiden. And the fire goes out on her, her little stick. And watch the tip of her staff as it resumes its glow.
I'm sorry. I cannot die. Not while the Nexus binds me.
I've always wondered if she's sorry that she can't die because of some sort of guilt. And that is possible if she was a demon who...
Be careful how... Normally, I had to...
Who has regained clarity, regained consciousness, so to speak. That's always seemed to be... That's kind of my interpretation of the Maiden in Black, is that she is an ancient and powerful demon, but unlike others who become demons through their lust for souls, for their lust for soul power, somehow she was able to recover and become more like human again, where she does not have that insatiable lust for souls, and in fact freely controls them for others and gives them to others instead. So she has the power to do that, but I don't know, man. We could go get the noob knife. That would be the crescent falchion. We could go get that. Probably I want to use the Estoc or the is it Epi or Epe? I'm not sure. City of the Burrs, keepers of the huge tunnel. Most of the stubborn excavators who supported the soldiers of Boletaria had their souls taken. Lacking their own will, they mindlessly continue working. Once again, we see the alliance between Stonefang and Boletaria. Sword Sage, he had a comment saying he dislikes the lack of sheaths in Dark Souls 2. Like you don't have a sheath for your sword to the side of you. I think it's something that in Demon Souls and particularly in Dark Souls 1, you so often ended up with a sheath floating out to the side with nothing, particularly if you were running around without armor. So I think that's... Here we go. Let's get this lizard. Oh no, I missed. There we go. Wow. Wow. Come on now. Come on now. Alright. I mean, it looked terrible. I, among many others, complained about it, but I also complained to no end about it. So annoying if you like to wear light armor in those games, because you would just have this sheath floating off to the side of you at all times. But I guess their only solution was just to get rid of it instead of trying to make it fit better. Yeah.
Hello there, souls. Souls. I trade fine goods for souls. Our little town. Well, it's a nice wee place. All those lizard-eyed townsfolk are busy tinkering with stone. And don't bother with old men like myself. Makes life rather easy for me. I can get away with anything. Thank you, Lord, for this golden opportunity. Have you heard about that? He's not... And I... Oh... Thank you. You're want to play. Well, you've got to pay. Don't you agree?
Nah, not really. Let's go to Rapier for a little bit. Thrusting weapons, if I recall correctly. Yep. The next enemy is susceptible to Pierce's axe. Oh no. Okay. I guess this is something else I should go ahead and do. Swap this over. Really interesting and fun thing about the Royal is that you basically have got a free enchant weapon with the Fragrant Ring. By the time your enchant weapon runs out, you should have your MP back to do it again, so you can keep a normal weapon around and enchant it at any time. And it's just kind of, it's a freebie basically. I like that. I like that. I like that. Plague of Gripes. On the topic of games similar to Dark Souls, Plague mentions that Vagrant Story is similar in many ways, and I agree. That's one of the main things I've been pointing out. I played it on the channel a little bit before. Oh, my enchant ran out. Alright. Oh shit, he got me with that one. Vagrant Story, I feel like it is similar in some ways to the Soul series. Obviously the gameplay itself is very different, but... Oh, we got a Crescent Axe, wow, how about that? And the Crushing Battle Axe. Excellent weapon in its own right. But yeah, obviously the gameplay is very different, but if you look at it in terms of the setting, the kind of the dark fantasy medieval setting that it has, and also the very detailed gameplay systems that can even be somewhat obtuse for new players, but keep the game as having a lot of depth and keeps players coming back to it, then yeah, I really think Vagrant Story is very similar in many ways to a Souls game. And Acrid Hunter, Paul Nope, Nagrant, and many others on the topic of PC games that are similar to the Souls series have brought up Severance Blade of Darkness. It's a game I've not played, but I've had so many people tell me that it is similar to Souls that I believe it, and it's something I'm definitely want to check out. And I believe it's on Good Old Games for like $7 or something like that. So that's an option if you're bored and you don't mind taking a risk on of a few dollars on an older game. That might be worth a shot. I personally have not played it. I don't have any experience with it yet. I probably will end up playing it, but just because I've had so many people and people that I trust to know about this shit have told me that it feels like a very early predecessor to the Soul series. And it makes me want to play it, so that's just some info I thought I'd pass along. I'm not wearing the thief ring here. I need to be careful about that. Boom. I need to start naming my spells. I think I'll call this one the Hell Bitch. A little Lonesome Dove shout out there for you. What can I say? I was going to the bathroom. I didn't have anything to read. Mom had her books in there. Lonesome Dove. Lonesome Dove, man. I remember watching that on TV when I was a kid. Oh, right. Well, hold on. Let's refresh this. Remember in in Dark Souls, or not Dark Souls, in Demon Souls at any time, you can refresh your weapon buff simply by putting your weapon away and bringing it back out. Thrusting weapons, very useful against those dogs. You can just keep your shield up and poke, poke, poke. Poke, poke, poke. Poke, poke, poke. Do-do-do-do-do. Ah, shit, I knew that was gonna happen. He gets me with that pretty much every game. Designed to get me with that. Oh, shit. And you die. For this area, having a thrusting attack and also having a source of magic damage, pretty OP. It undoes a lot of what would otherwise be problems. Can't see for shit. But I can still parry. Aw, I couldn't get my riposte though. Riposte. Riposte. But I thought I'll come here first to get my Chris knife. My Chris blade, depending on which version of the game you're playing. I suspect it will be useful to me. Oh man, how did you manage to sneak that around on me? Alright. Oh yeah. I don't think I've ever tried parrying that. Don't fall. Oh man. Things just got complicated. I feel like Cloud Strife that time he failed to finish off Rufus before he escaped. If you have played Final Fantasy VII, then you know of what I speak. Jose Antonio Sanchez asked a pretty interesting question. He said, does it feel like FromSoft is studying us? He said, for example, first Demon Souls, they introduced a new style of gameplay, and then Dark Souls came around and they started to balance things. They said, all right, well, people like the challenge. They like having the checkpoints kind of far and few between. They like the difficult bosses. They wanted more difficult bosses, so they amped it up a little bit in Dark Souls. And they said, all right, well, for Dark Souls 2, people obviously enjoyed PvP a lot in Dark Souls, so they tried to focus on that, the multiplayer aspects, a little bit more in Dark Souls 2. And he was just wondering, does it feel like FromSoft is studying the player base? I would say that definitely FromSoft is trying to learn how they can make games that suit the players better. Like, whether or not they actually succeed in doing so, I definitely feel like they are trying to make games to better suit the players every time. I know a lot of people just absolutely hate Dark Souls 2 and just want to just throw it out completely, but I don't think you can really throw it out completely. I think that they were trying to address problems that people had, like the fact that the whole PvP game in Dark Souls 1 was so BS centric, like that you were either going for backstabs or you were just strictly playing entirely not to get backstabbed. Like it was just, that was the be all and end all ultimate. Or at least it felt like that for a lot of players. Either way, whether that was true or not, fucking asshole. Oh no! Oh shit, that was close. Whew. Damn it, Cloud, why did you not finish Rufus off? Shit. Damn it, he's fast with that shit.
You have a heart of gold. Don't let them take it from you.
My soul laced up the body. First of all, bring out the sun. First of all, bring out the sun. First of all, my soul laced up the body. First of all, bring out the sun. Bring out the sun. This is it, I admit. For so long I've resisted to think that I've gotten suspicious with songs that I've written. Laughing at scars as I count the amount of the all like it's none of your business. All that you have isn't bad when it's pushed to the max, and I'm asking for more when you spend and collect. It's frame switching lanes like I'm ditching my car, throwing you out of your own set of doors. I've made it longer than favorites of yours. I don't run the museum, but I've taken the tour. Deal with for real, you are wasting your skills as a person for cursing my name on a hill till your back is broken in pieces. Someone will fill the position you're reaching. Fight to the end, you'll be praising the sun like the people who know where we sampled this from. Grabbing my nuts isn't easy with both hands. I'm holding two boulders as close as a slow jam. Might get a kick out of hearing that line, so do I, but I laugh cause it hurts all the time. Going forward, the awkward moment is over. If nobody told you, we got more exposure. Words that I wrote spilling out like they've had it. I'm at it beyond that, I think that I'm rapping. I'm for the chosen few who know the rules of show and prove. Who care to hold the truth anywhere the flow is used. You're my neighbor, it's nothing but flavor. The drums, they can change my behavior. It's major, I carry your friend like a soldier to safety. In through the storm like the one that will make it. Check where I'm from, what I did and I'm doing. Of how many years that I spent writing music. Over prepared for the chair and the volts that it shares till I stare into space everywhere. I'll force you to upgrade words on the pavement to say something more than you're not entertaining.
Fantastic.
This all remains what I've wanted long since I heard MCs before me utilizing content. You hear me knocking as if heaven's door is closed and I didn't play.
Where is he exactly? Alright, same space. You know what? Oh my god. Let's just be wise about this. Oh, let's try to be wise about this. Oh, anger! How the fuck? Who the fuck? What the fuck? Oh my god. Alright. He's gonna get the falchion. That's what he's gonna get. He's gonna get the fucking falchion to his fucking face. Oh my god. Just want to finish this, get my fucking Chris knife so I can move on. And that's how it goes, man. You get in a hurry, you get impatient. Doesn't matter how many times you've played it. Doesn't matter how well you know. Doesn't fucking matter. If you get in a hurry like I've been here today, this is the shit that's gonna happen to you. Gabby Zero asked, hold on 1 second, let me see what Gabby Zero asked. How long will the Souls series last? Is Bloodborne really a Souls game, and will Kadokawa force them in a different direction? Let me start from the end of that. Kadokawa's not going to force them in a different direction. Kadokawa would probably not have bought FromSoft if it was not for the Souls series, so don't see them really going in a different direction with that. Additionally, I would say that Bloodborne is very much a Souls game. Doesn't, just like Demons, it's going to be the exact same as the difference between Demons and Dark is going to be the difference between Dark and Bloodborne. Like that's how I see that working out. I think that it is a Souls game. as for how long the series is going to last, I guess it's impossible to say, but come on in. Right. I think that it's... I really don't know. I really just don't know. I think as long as players are receptive to it, it's going to be something that they're interested in doing. Clearly, other companies are interested in emulating it to a certain extent. I don't think Soul Series is going anywhere anytime soon. But honestly, I honestly see it developing into be its own kind of subgenre, more than speaking of the Soul series itself specifically, just the Soul series made by From Software. I really see this developing into a bit of a subgenre of third-person melee action game. Or melee, I mean, it's primarily melee. There's, of course, lots of ranged options and may increase in the future as well, but... and I see it as kind of a subgenre where you have stamina, the attacks are slowed down a little bit. It's similar to other third-person action games, but it's just not so fast and frenetic. It's very tactical. I see sort of tactical... third-person action games as becoming a larger subgenre in the future, with a particular emphasis on difficulty, I imagine, because that's just that's the entire point of slowing down one of those action games, is to make it more tactical and more challenging. You provide additional limitations for the player, specifically either a stamina limitation so that you can't just attack, or another way to do it would be to have lots of recovery on player attacks and things like that, but that feels less fun, because anytime the player doesn't have control of their character, that's not fun. Like, that's just, anytime you're confused or blinded or anything like that, or anytime you have just a long whiff animation, that generally tends to frustrate players. So a stamina system to where the player has a lot of control, but at the same time has a limitation imposed on them, is really good. And I just see that becoming more and more of a thing. I talked about it in the Lords of the Fallen preview, and it remains to be seen how that game's going to turn out specifically. I am interested in the gameplay. I'm not as interested in the story. Now, from that perspective, if you're talking about the Soul-style story presentation, I think other developers have seen that it works. And I know that... I feel like the indie community is going to embrace that before the mainstream. Yeah, they are completely immune to fire, I thought so. Before the industry at large does, but... I don't know. But specifically if there's going to be Dark Souls 20 or whatever, I don't know. It really, I guess it just depends on the personnel that they're able to have around, and how well they can innovate, and how fresh it stays for players, and how much players are actually willing to do with it. Because they can't, I don't think they can keep making the same game over and over. I don't think that's going to work. As much as I like Demon Souls and Dark Souls, there's a limit to how much of the exact same game I could play. Yeah. Paper Cloud also asked a really interesting question. Paper Cloud asked, would you be interested in a Souls game or a FromSoft game with set characters? Like, if FromSoft made a game that had like a specific set protagonist, would I be interested in that? And the answer is no. I mean, I'm not gonna say I wouldn't play it. I probably would, particularly if it has this sort of tactical, third-person fantasy medieval action gameplay that I like. I would probably play it, but as for whether or not I would prefer it, I would prefer not to have a set character. To me, and this is just me, I prefer that developers focus on building an interesting world that contains a story within it, and then either letting me create my own character within that world, or if you have set characters, have enough of them so that I have a good choice of what I want to represent me, or what sort of character I want to play on any specific playthrough. Okay. Final Fantasy VI is one of my favorite SNES games of all time, one of my favorite Japanese RPGs of all time, and the main reason for that is the fact that it doesn't really have that main character. It just, there's not a main character. Yeah, you start the game playing as Terra, but you can finish the game without her. And Celis may be quote-unquote main for the World of Ruin, but you can finish. There's no main character. There are a couple of characters along the way that you have to control, but you can be any of the cast that you want if you want to put yourselves in one of their shoes. And it's such a diverse cast that there's something cool for everybody. I really appreciate that. And so, yeah, I prefer those sorts of scenarios. Let's talk to this dude.
I haven't seen you around these parts. What does it matter? You need a blacksmith, show me some coin. If not, head straight for the door. I'm busy. I'm not here to chit-chat. Forging a weapon strengthens it, and alters its character. Those are transmogrified sprites. Their presence blesses the weapon. There. Don't waste my time.
Yeah, like that fat minister wasted our time. I will catch you guys on the next Demons Chat. I probably want to talk a little bit more about Paper Cloud's comment, because it's really interesting to me. I think Cloud's looking at things from a very similar perspective that I am. So I will catch you guys next time. Later. Oh wait, alright, I can't cancel the animation to do the thing. Wah!